Hello, my champions. Happy Music Monday to you. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I don't think many people know this, and I found it very interesting. So, Neil Young reportedly fights Spotify over Rogan and COVID. So he pulls his music off of Spotify, saying that he's angry with Joe Rogan for spreading misinformation. Well, how did he come to this choice? I don't think it was his alone, and I'm going to show you some things to prove that. So, Neil Young recently sold his catalog to Hypnosis Group, right? So a lot of artists have been selling their music, and they're basically just cashing out, right? So Neil Young sells his music to Hypnosis, okay? They acquired 50% of his catalog for $150 million. Pretty good price tag, but who is Hypnosis? All right, who is this group that now owns the music that is being pulled from Spotify? Blackstone and Hypnosis launch a $1 billion partnership to invest in songs, recorded music, okay? So Blackstone and Hypnosis buy Neil Young's catalog, but who's Blackstone? Who's running Blackstone? Who are these people? Well, Blackstone announces the appointment of Jeffrey B. Kindler, the former chairman and CEO of Pfizer. Oh, now things are starting to make a little bit of sense, aren't they? Okay, so, by the way, this beautiful background music is brought to you by Evan Flory Barnes. It's a tune that we produced together, and this is just the instrumental version. Thought you might enjoy it while we're chatting here, okay? So, the people that chose to pull Neil Young's music from Spotify are actually from Pfizer. Big surprise, right? So, it made me wonder, who owns Pfizer? It says here that the top Pfizer shareholders are none other than Vanguard. Okay, so that's important. I'm going to touch on this again later. Okay, so it wasn't just Neil Young that decided to pull his music, and it wasn't just these ex-Pfizer board members that decided to do it, but Joni Mitchell joins the fight. And now I'm thinking, what is going on here? I didn't know any of this before, and that's why I decided to dig in a little bit. Why is Joni Mitchell now protesting over Spotify? And for the record, Joe Rogan brings people on his podcast and they just talk, you know what I mean? Like, they're just discussing things, and he doesn't really hold any punches back. Like, he really wants an open conversation. So some of the information he admitted has been wrong, but it's just a conversation. Anyway, so why is Joni Mitchell getting into this argument all of a sudden? Well, let's take a deeper look. Reservoir inks a global deal with Joni Mitchell. So Joni Mitchell sold her catalog as well, okay? So it's not even Neil Young or Joni Mitchell that are actually making these choices. They're selling their music to these big conglomerates that are owned by, well, let's see, who's Reservoir Media? Took a little bit more digging for this one. I had to look into the financials, okay? Reservoir just received a $350 million line of credit from City National Bank. Okay? So the people that own Joni Mitchell's music is getting their money from City National Bank. Well, who owns City National Bank? The Royal Bank of Canada. Who's the Royal Bank of Canada owned by? The Vanguard Group. Okay? Who owns Pfizer? The Vanguard Group. Alright? So Joe Rogan responded yesterday. He finally kind of acknowledged what was going on, and he's like, listen, I just bring people on to have a conversation. And I was kind of disappointed in him for apologizing because he's just bringing on professionals. The doctors that are in question here have been the top of their field for the last, 20 years. Like, one of them is the #1 most published doctor, and the other guy invented the testing that we all found out was actually inaccurate, okay? And I actually went to the World Health Organization website on January 21st, 2021, the day after Biden was inaugurated. They came out and said, we've been doing the testing all wrong. The magnification rate is way too high, and we're getting all these false positives. So as soon as their guy, because the banks, they fund the candidates, all right? So the same group, BlackRock, Vanguard, okay, they fund their candidates to go in there and fight their fights for them. And everyone knows, or maybe you don't, but Big Pharma is the #1 largest group that has lobbyists in D.C., okay? And with the Citizens United getting voted in a few years back, that basically means that these large companies can outweigh everyday voters with their super PACs, okay? So they're buying elections. We're not living in a democracy. We're living in an oligarchy, and it's becoming a technocracy, all right? And, I don't even know why Joe Rogan apologized, because he's just bringing information, and, I'm proud of him for doing so. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I just wanted you to know that it's not Neil Young making this choice. It's not Joni Mitchell making this choice. It's the people who bought their catalogs, and they are owned by the big pharma conglomerate who has stolen your attention. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. So, how do you get your power back? Your attention. Vote with your dollars. Vote with your attention. Anyway, big love, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Am I off base? Am I wrong here? Let me know. All right, big love. Talk to you soon.